If you noticed on the ground here, and I'm going to cover that here after I cover the first thing, there's actually an hourglass, right? All right, I have something very similar in my garage, except for I have a pyramid that comes off. And that's also one full step away. So how you make your own, it's one full step
Each junction?
or it's two half steps. Comfortable half steps. So that's how you make your own, and all of us will be slightly different. So that's the principle of the X with footwork. So, but first we're going to go over to the principle of the X with your sword work. And one of the things that Sun Tzu teaches is show up your opponent's strength on one side. When they respond because they have to, attack them on their weakness. So this is something that I train quite a bit. I mean, you know that. You've seen the Pell videos. But what I'll do is I'll attack here. And what that tells me, the principle of the X, tells me that right here and right here are your weakest spots in that moment. Because most people will plant, they'll rotate to meet your angle, so they're now straight on again. That first shot's going to shift their defense to one side. The second shot comes in for the kill. So it's kind of like if you've ever heard the term bread and butter. If you've ever heard that term, that's what that is. The first one's the setup, second one's the kill. I train a lot of two-part combos of different varieties, and I also train clears, so I can try to kill you in 2. I can try to kill you in 3 because it's 2 with an exit, or I kill you in 4. And I generally don't try to throw more than 4 because your shield work, your footwork is generally out of position. But let's go with the X's. So if you want to say get somebody's leg because they're sword leg forward, or you want to catch them on a step, they're actually physically stepping. What you want to do when they start to step into you, because this right here will be the line of measure. This is where I can just about get you, and you can just about get me. So you want to try to catch them on a step, start them here, because they have to plan and rotate because they step. They have to. Their defense shifts and rotates to this side, and the second you start to see the movement, that's when you attack the weakness. And you'll almost always hit this if you can execute the move properly. And then I recommend clearing out with your guard up, something to that effect. And now what I do when I do this is I practice that one combo I just showed you daily, daily. And I get good at starting to marry the footwork together. Like in the beginning, I won't so much. I'll practice this shot like a bunch of times at this angle. As you can see, I've got carved in the ground. So I'll practice this a lot. And when this feels really super good, I'll shift over to the other side. And I've already gotten this. Now I can just practice the offside. Then eventually you're going to get really good at doing that. So now why not just add a little bit of movement to it? And you're always going to try to approach your opponents at angles. So I might as well start getting into that now. If you notice the hourglass, this teaches you to do one thing, not approach like this. You know, if you always approach your, and retreat backwards as well, but if you always approach your enemy straight on, or your honorable opponent, my apologies. But if you do that, their defense is generally strong on both sides. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you start getting them to think you're going right, get them to react to you're going right, and make them pay for that reaction. That's how I get almost all of my kills. Almost everything. I think kind of in the reverse, where my first or second shot might not matter so much, but my plan was the third. And I kind of work into that one. Now for you, you said in the first class that you probably couldn't block a lot of the top fighters right away if they gave you their best.
This is,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so for you, the strongest focus you should work on will be your footwork. And not only can you walk the X this way, I'm about to show you some combinations I do, by the way. and exit like this, you can also approach these angles and walk the outside of the hourglass as well, and retreat in the same fashion.
Constant side to side of some form.
The majority of your defense is going to come from your footwork. I mean, it's going to come from your shield or your other weapon as well, but a lot of it is your footwork. And your footwork sets up these angles. So, like, imagine I'm Bob Ross, and we just saluted, right? And we start to approach each other, and my opponent notices that I'm kind of trying to make a left-hand pass. Now, they're either going to start doing that, they're going to kind of back straight up if they don't feel like fighting, because once I cross the line to measure, every single one of us gets put in a position where you're either going to fight or you're going to flight. You know, that's just how humans are. You're fighting or flighting once I cross this line on you, like every single time. So my job, really, as I'm covering distance, is to try to get you to believe one thing so then I can do a completely different thing to you. So if I really want to kill them and I want to open on the left, I'm going to start showing them a right line. So they're going to start seeing me doing this to them. And if they don't plan and rotate, which is what I really want people to do on the first shot, if they don't, then I'll just clear out until I get what I want, because my whole thing is to try to control the fight, not so much react to you. And it's something Squire and I are going to be working on here really soon with a lot of 30-second kill drills. But let me show you the combos I'm working on really quick. So I've got this one where I start you here. My sword stays in house, which we'll cover in just a second. And either you fire into me, or I've gotten here and I take you with the off body. And then I generally clear out this way and then guard out. So that's one. I've got another one with the extreme side here, where I step into you here and it's an immediate thing. It's instant. So it's another principle. Show their opponent's strength, and when you go for the weakness, you strike like a lightning bolt instantly. They feel you here, and this shot is already hitting them before they can even think about what's going on. So it happens very fast. So that's another one of my kills. This is another one I train right here, where I start it with the off leg, and as your defense shifts over to the left, you start to plant and meet me so we're straight. I just step out to the back and then I just clear. And a lot of the times I'll get that. I mean, it works out really well. The other one, as I'm covering my distance and I get to here, I just make either a stab or I kind of just drop my sword. So I do this and then just it's a step to the side. It's just a moulinet, a real quick one. But if you notice, what I'm mostly trying to train is always approaching at angles, always. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to get back that I lost when I picked up center boss. There was a time where my footwork was one with the hourglass. My thought process of attacking, creating the openings for my second and the third to kill you, all marrying together with my footwork, it was great. Then I picked up center boss, and over time, I kind of became stagnant. It was like this. Sorry. All right, come get it. And I would do that. I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't go backwards or forwards. You couldn't make me. And I lost the footwork after about 2 years of fighting that way. And it was gradual, and I could have trained it, but I just, now I'm trying to get it back. And it's a lot of work because it's been about 60 some days, and I'm starting to get it back. So let's go ahead and get you guys on the trail real quick. I've blabbed about the main things I wanted to talk about. Footwork. And everyone here fights with shield? I mean, there's probably people that like fight with multiple weapons, right? Okay, so the principle of the X, both in the blows and the footwork, works for any style you, doesn't matter. That's why I mainly wanted to focus this class on those two subjects, because no matter what you fight, if you're thinking about show strength and slide across, attack the weakness, not so much straight back and forth. It literally is all angles, and if you can get that, you're going to be brutal. Like you think you owned people last coronet, Your Highness. Just wait until you get this.
Yeah, because I'm rough
with
on
your
that.
sword blows, because you already do the setups here to come kill on your second or your third shot. I see that already, but you get footwork with that, and you get me to plant and rotate even deeper because you're here instead of here. It makes a huge difference. Like I have to pace and rotate you to you. And when you do on that setup, oh my goodness, bro, it's going to be over.
So what was so weird is when I was first learning this, my mind wasn't getting the fact that you're trying to get them to rotate. So
Yes.
every time,
Plant and
every
rotate.
time I would come in like this and they'd rotate, I'm like, oh, they took it away from me. I didn't think about the fact that, oh, that's where I want them.
Yeah, that's the exact thing you're really looking for. And when I'm training for situations. So like I talked about visualization before, I use that a lot. Okay, so I'm crossing the line of measure, my swords come in, they're planting. Okay, they're starting to rotate into my my attack, slide across. You know, and I say those things over and over as I'm training, and then you just start to automatically see it as you're fighting. So
Well, and because it doesn't have a shield, show them what advancing on me. I'll be right here.
okay,
Advance on me so that they can see how the body, what you're expecting your opponent to do.
okay.
So use your
Okay, I
thing
can
so
do
that they
that.
see the
Yeah.
footwork. It's not going to be
So-
caught on the camera, I don't know.
No, I
but-
can either approach him this way, like this, or I can approach him this way. So I'll just do this one right here. So what you're looking for is that. See, look what he has to do to block that, and that's when I come in, my shield comes through.
And all I can do is drop here.
Yep.
But odds are, at that point, he's either going to go for my leg, which is further down, because he gets to choose. If he sees this move, he just moves his arm down further.
Yeah, but the
Or-
bad thing is that wasn't my intent. My intent was that. The push
Yeah.
to the chest
I block
after
down.
they close it in.
Before I can get my shield up, he's taking my head.
Yeah,
He
and
does
that's
it
where
all
I
the
get,
time.
that is most of my kills is that shot and that sequence that we just did.
That-
Almost everything, yeah. Start here, slide across here, come
Now,
back
by
across
no
the other
means does
side.
that mean that first shot needs to be tappy, because if it's going to be tappy, they're not.
No.
They're going to be like,
Yeah,
They're going to be prepared for that second shot. You want every shot to be a
Yep.
killing shot.
and that is the exact truth. Every shot you throw, and I throw so many fakes, the problem is they're all kills. That's the thing. Because I rely on every single one of you having a good enough defense to survive at least the first shot. That's what I'm counting on. Because the second and the third is what I'm trying to get you on. So,
But if you're rusty enough not to block that first shot, hey, it's gravy.
yeah. All right, so practice if you can. If you want to form a line, if anyone needs a sword, they can borrow mine. But just come up with any two-shot combination that exploits the X. And always keep in mind that if you are going to step here, you're going to be throwing one of these shots as an opener. All right? And if you're always on the opposite side, it's always a backhand. Always.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
The first person in the line picks the combo, everybody does it. Next
Yes.
person in the line picks the combo, everybody
I
does
like
it.
that. I like that. That
So-
is an amazing idea. And this gives you the opportunity to learn as well as teach, because other people have different things to work on. Nice.
Which is what you did before.
Okay, and the only suggestion I would give you, and it's something that I'm guilty of, is always cover as you exit.
Yes.
Make that a habit.
Yeah, don't assume you just killed him.
Yeah, never assume, always guard out. And always do your thinking outside. Never on the inside. There you go.
And roll further out. Don't back straight out. When you come in, you're like, boom, boom. Okay.
Yep, I like that.
Okay.
If you're moving in angles, your opponent is always having to respond to you and what you're doing to them. And always
You
keep
can
in
take
mind
smaller
too,
steps.
yeah, these are, it's kind of like a guideline,
short
but not the
sword is-
rule, because these are big.
Oh, that's
I made
true.
this a bit big.
It's like try to get to the range of that sword as well.
Oh, yeah. But hold on, come here. Take stance at this point. for this move, you've got about the same length of leg as I do. So sword leg forward, it's 1 step, 2 step, throw, step, throw.
There you go.
Two
Right.
full steps.
Yep.
Yeah, do full steps.
And if you feel your stride's a little shorter, bring your toe
Yeah,
up to
just
here.
start up a bit closer.
Just get a little closer before you start your advance.
I'll try it this way.
Side step over to here. Yep.
There you go.
And now back out, high guard.
There you go. I like that. All right, is it me?
Yes, it is you.
Okay.
And then you should be behind
I'm behind you. And actually, technically, I step out and go to the end anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but
First person waits till the end.
yeah, he was the last one.
Did you do it?
I went right after you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's your turn to choose.
Yeah.
I'll stick here.
Okay. And the thing I will mention, I am a very fast fighter when I'm not using a log. The thing is I've gotten all my speed from training slow on that Pell.
Sword leg
Not
forward.
from training fast. And when you can do it slow, you can do it very fast.
Start. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right, because the angle you're going at, it's going to be the opposite.
That's what I was like,
I just looked at that and went and walked it through my head. I went, no.
There you go. And you're going to clear out after the wrap? Okay.
Yep.
Was that 6-3?
Yeah.
6-3. Oh, no, 4-3.
backhand into a leg wrap.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
4-1.
4-1. Okay.
4-1, okay. You're up.
Make sure I followed that.
Backhand.
I'll do my
Okay,
best.
so, yep. You got
Here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Into a.
You said
Two,
backhand.
head, back of legs.
Here.
Yep.
Yep,
and,
that
and
works.
rotate out.
There you go. That looks good.
And I tried to make sure I had enough.
Has anybody taught you the 1 through 6?
No.
Okay.
I can probably derive it, but
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
and
6.
we'll go over that here in
Yeah.
just a little bit as well. And it's going to be a good drill for you to practice as much as possible because
Ah,
You
I
did
already
that.
did that.
You did that wrong,
Yeah,
sir.
I was
Behind
thinking
us.
footwork.
Backhand.
Yeah.
Leg wrap. There you go.
there you go.
Deeper into V butt wrap.
Your favorite shot. Few people that I know that would tell you that it's really bad.
Okay,
does.
so are we starting over again?
Yep. No, now it's his turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Column's up. You're behind
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Good. Let's see what Colin wants us to learn. I like it.
And that's you.
4-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Backhand. Backhand
And
body snap.
which side was it?
This side.
This side. Okay.
Yeah, it was a backhand to a body snap.
He's wrong. Right here.
Shield side snap.
Actually, his Highness
Backhand,
is correct.
too.
I started left and went left. Started left, feet right, went left.
Oh, okay. So you went. Oh. So if you're gonna feint, you need to start off
You have to
opposite
start
foot.
with the opposite foot forward. Yeah, see. There you go.
That was it.
And I like that. Always try to exploit the outside as well as the inside of the hourglass.
You're correct.
No, my footing was off.
Yeah, you have to start with the opposite foot if that's your plan. It's good that you guys are catching on to that really fast too.
I threw a wrap, I think.
Yeah, you did. You like throwing that wrap.
His 8 belt.
You can play.
I threw a wrap too.
No, I already did it. I already
Yours
did it.
was a wrap? Okay.
So it is my turn to come up with one.
Yep.
Actually,
it's her turn,
She didn't do
technically.
She hasn't done this yet.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. I have nothing.
Oh no, okay.
You haven't done that.
Okay.
What we just did.
So here's
She
another
did.
She did it?
All right.
Yeah, she did
Okay.
it.
Okay, another lesson for everybody. How many times have you heard "look for the nights for inspiration" and all that kind of?
A lot.
Okay.
Look at
There's
everybody.
something I will tell you right now. Those of every single station have something to offer and
Yes.
teach, no matter who they are. And they might not believe it, but they do. All
Maybe
right.
one of your scholar shots.
Yeah. I'm telling
I
you,
mean,
everyone
just
has
because
something
you
to
fight
offer.
with 2 hands on your weapon doesn't mean that you can't just take one of your hands
Use
off
the
the weapon.
concept.
Exactly.
Okay, prime example. Summer Coronet, 4 or 5 years, the year Nate won.
Okay.
Sebastian had only been fighting rapier and did a little bit of hard suit on the side.
Oh yeah.
And decided he's like, hey, I'm gonna do rapier. I'm gonna do hard suit for Cornet, but he used rapier fighting styles and made it to the semis.
Yeah. With
Because
a different
nobody knew how to
weapon
fight
style
it.
every round.
Even the high guard like this with 2 swords. There was like,
They get dropped.
yeah. So
All right.
you just have to use your mind.
One more time.
Yep.
Okay, you're good. Sorry. I don't mean to cut it.
No. We're
So
trying
before
to do
we
something.
go any further, so does anyone know the names of kind of like these blocks? Because I know I see 2 center bossers here, so this is like super important. Okay. So you have your house block, which I use a lot for setups on the offside because it works exceptionally well. You'll and then you just kind of leave it there and step across. It's still there for defense, and they'll go, but Gregor, you're gonna get creamed, right? The only problem is that sets me up for my outside block too, which sets you up even more for the off body, which is a bad idea. So this is why the house block is amazing. Now the only weakness of the house, here, let me borrow it. Okay. So His Highness is going to throw a snap into my head, and I'm going to catch it. So the weakness, hold on. Okay. The weakness of the house is actually the wrap, because I can only push this over so far. But if His Highness was to wrap me, I'm now getting hit. Yeah.
So instead of me doing this, if I would have gone,
Yeah, you would hit me. You can hit me, especially if
Yeah.
you exploit the angle.
yeah, if I
Yeah, see, now I'm screwed. How can I do that? So the weakness of the house is the wrap. So always watch for that if you're going to use it. The strength against the wrap is the tent. The tent, you can do a lot of things.
yeah, because now my arm's weak.
Yeah, I can try to come underneath of his sword as well on a return, and I have to time it just right. So it's the hit and then the drop.
And the step.
Yeah, and the it all comes together at once. But I'm telling you, think about that as well when you're training on the Pale, because you are going to throw blows and receive blows at the same time. So always be aware of where your sword is. So what I like to do is every one of my returns, it's kind of, I can use it as defense if necessary. It's always kind of there. And if you remember His Majesty when he came up here,
Which one?
the last one, the one
Connor.
that you won, yeah, he would fire his snap, and he would just leave it there in close distance, kind of behind his snap, and he would leave it there. And at the first time, I was like, "What is he doing?" And then I got hit in the off body. That instant that I was, "What is he doing?" He just stepped, and I got hit because I was planted and I was rotated, and it was everything he wanted, and I died.
And your mind's busy going.
Yeah. So now I'm going to add another layer on you guys. So come up with another 2-shot, and you can throw a third if you want to clear, and throw one
Clearing
as well
shot?
before you. Yeah, but also think about catching at least one sword block somehow, some way while you're doing it. It can be anything. So like snap. Oh, they're firing. Catch. Now I kill, and then clear. Or you can even and then clear. 2 to 3 was what I'm looking for, but with one sword block. Uh-oh, are you stepping up?
I will.
Okay. Now keep in mind something I didn't mention.
Something
You can
did
go.
nothing.
You can do the extreme straight. You can do the outside. Okay. You can also start on these ends, and instead of committing, slide across and then come in, and you can either go the outside or straight, and it's really nice. It works very well.
Just trying to make sure I get it worked out in my head.
It's
I
okay.
have what I want.
All right.
A poke, a block.
So the one I was expecting was your backhand into stab, because I tell you he's got something going on with this right now.
Backhand.
I
He's
haven't
not
quite-
doing a spinning backhand.
No.
He
No.
steps, he fires and steps this way with the backhand, and then he steps across as he's returning and just stabs
So
you.
yeah,
And he catches you twisting and watching
it's-
what he's doing.
it's
It's epic.
this.
Yeah. He's gotten
it's
me
that.
on that twice now, both times.
Once in the head and once in the body.
Yeah, and you've gotten other people with it as well.
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
But
It
what
sounds like,
I was working with on this one was a stab, block into an off body.
Yeah, but you want to.
Stab, house.
Okay. So really
So that's
quick.
what it was.
Really quick.
Okay.
You did do stab. Okay, so let me show you two things.
Go ahead.
So you see him doing the rotate. That's a whole bunch of unnecessary crap that you don't need to. So what you want to do, if you want to stab on the, you want to stab as a setup and then come in with a second shot, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about hand position. If I want to stab you on that side, I'm going to step right, stab. My second one's going to be my kill, but I don't have to twist my blade because my hand's already there. So you can
That's
get
what I was trying to work out.
He was rolling the block.
Yeah, I was rolling the
And then
block
coming
into
in.
it.
my mistake.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was rolling that side block into it.
Okay.
So I'm here, block.
Oh, now his eyes are
You
open.
said
Okay.
incorporate a block into it, so that's
Okay.
what I've been sitting over
My
there working
fault.
on.
So we need to talk these through as we do them.
So,
Yeah.
so this one is I'm starting on this corner, shield leg forward, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm coming in, and then when I get here, I throw the stab. I put it in for the block, so I just let this twist as I'm coming across. And then I'm loaded for that, and so I'm twisting that shot here, and then I'm clearing out.
All right,
Everybody
I-
gets 2 runs
I
at this
very
one.
much
One for
like
a
that.
walkthrough and one for a
I very
hit.
much like that. If you want to do really quick setups with the stab though, like I said, and you're not worrying about blocking, stab this way for this side,
And just drop the hammer.
and stab this way where your basket's on the opposite side. Makes it extremely quick.
That's why I was sitting over here and adjusting, like I was like testing where my sword was going to be when I was doing it.
Okay. Outside block. Nice. Okay. I like
That one I like.
That's some good stuff. And there's a lot of really cool kill combos you can come up with by doing this with the hourglass, using the principle
There you go.
of the X.
Good one, Colin.
Sword leg forward.
Sorry, it's along the outside
Yeah,
here?
you're
Okay.
zigzag.
Yeah, this
across.
one's a zigzag.
Sword leg forward.
Okay, so step,
That,
step,
Stab.
and then roll your wrist this way.
Block that
Outside
shot.
block. Nice.
There you go. And then
There you
into
go.
the body. Yep, good. Or head. That was good. That was good. Yay, complex shots for the I had to try something.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah. I also do like your backhand in the stab.
I'll do that one next.
Just throw it out there.
I'll do that
is-
one next.
We've all done it. Who's up
Yeah.
next? Oh, that would be me.
That would be you, Your Highness.
Okay, so. How do I want it?
So
I like a double
backhand,
on one side,
wrap,
Because they don't expect two on one.
backhand,
two on one side. Yeah.
snap, wrap. Okay.
Do I need to walk it through
Backhand snap wrap.
yes, please.
slow? Okay. Sword leg forward.
That is
No,
shield leg
sorry,
forward, sir.
shield leg
Your
forward.
Highness.
Step, step, throw. No, I did. Throw, wrap to the body.
Wrap to the body. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
One in.
You have
Yeah,
Just a stick. Just a stick. You don't even have to hit hard.
Okay. So backhand, wrap.
Nope, not
Oh
wrap.
no, that's right. So
Snap, snap. Step out, wrap to the body.
okay. Can I try that again?
Yep. I really think
I
that
am
we
not
need to do 2
satisfied.
passes each time, one a walkthrough and then one an actual. That way people can help correct. Snap, snap.
Shit. Okay.
As you take that extra step back, throw the
Yeah.
wrap out. Because they're going to see that and they're going to be like, no, I'm not engaging him.
So
Snap, snap, back step wrap.
okay.
Man, that shield looks so glorious, Jason. It's not even kidding you. Yeah, man. That's a knightly shield right
That's
there.
for sure.
Column. Yours needs to be a little bit more here.
Nice
Yeah.
people.
A half
Or
step
nice stuff
forward
for
while you're
people
serving
that
out.
need
Okay. Thank you. That was actually good.
Yeah.
I need to work.
Slide across. I don't get enough power. Right. That, yeah. And I like that you went low after high. Way better.
Doctor, but I hit you with that.
Oh, the Gladius, yeah. No, I feel you on that one. That is such a
So let's walk through that one more time. I'm going to stand over here because I want to watch how you do your wraps.
Not well.
That's why I'm watching.
Poorly.
Gola doesn't
Take a half step forward. There you go. Don't take too long of a long. I'd rather watch you start off.
I want to make a
Yeah,
comfortable
start
step,
there.
not a
You
really
want this
long
to be
one.
a comfortable step. Even if your second step lands here because your final step has to be here, that just means you need to scoot forward a little bit. You're adjusting for you.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 comfortable steps. I think it's about here.
So one, then over to that side, snap, snap to this side as you step. Now, as you swing your back leg forward, back leg back out, roll it up over your head and out. So you're like this, up over
At least
the
you can come
head.
and do this with us.
Yep, yeah, that's fine.
And
You roll it
and you can
up
give
over
us,
and just curl it.
your story.
You're like a swing and a
Give us
lasso.
history.
Think about a swing and a
You can give
lasso.
us the advice that you got.
That's fine.
Draw it first.
And you are still
Yep,
Swing
swing your leg
or
back,
you can-
throw the body.
Yeah.
Oh no, but that's just not.
But
Stand by
it's
his
just a
dad
matter
or
of
he
rolling
gets
that
that
arm
by
out there when you get it there.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Beautiful.
That was a very
I
nice
would
wrap.
gladly go fencing just to play with a little bit. Alright, just because I like fighting everybody.
So
And like I
walking
love
in at an
fighting
angle,
Fiore.
Yes.
Zig,
Walking
zag,
in on an
snap,
angle.
snap, wrap, roll.
and then first step past the line.
What's happening?
You got short legs.
Shield side.
Start here, second step here, third step here.
Step out here,
Step back over this way. Snap,
throw the snap,
throw flat,
flat.
back out, right.
There you go.
Very nice.
I look good, Jason.
Who hasn't done it? I think everybody's done it except you.
Yep.
Go ahead and you choose one, Jason.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Either
either
so the rules
Combination.
are now, you missed the first part, so the rules are now 2 or 3 shot combo with 1 sword block mixed in. So whatever you want to do.
okay.
Moving in with angles and
Yeah. Time to redarken this thing.
yeah.
All right. I guess I'll do one for Sarah.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, you gonna teach one now? Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna take it.
Okay. You got next then. You got next.
I remember how I did this. Yeah.
There is never a point in the next fight
Nope.
you are only striking and blocking. Fiore just doesn't do it because as soon as your opponent strikes you down,
Wrap, snap, snap.
Yeah, thumb roller, snap, snap.
Which 2 snaps? That was a thumb roll to the body, snap to the body. All right.
It was a thumb roll, snap to the head,
Wrap to the head.
Double,
snap
Okay.
to the head.
here's the block, and leg finish.
I like
Nice,
it.
I like that.
So, okay, but one thing before we get too far ahead of ourselves, you don't have to complete the whole step in one. You can still practice half step as well. So if you want to do a half step, just make sure the proper foot's on there. That was the thing.
Yeah, figure out your foot
Yeah.
and get to where you need to be.
But don't always get in the habit of doing this, because this is what's
You're off
going to
center.
completely and totally destroy your legs.
Okay.
The
Wrap,
second your foot hits,
snap,
you're getting hit.
right set. Get in to give the block.
Oh,
There was a block between
okay.
3.
Yeah, no, I get it now. I think I get it now.
I have to remember the block. You don't want the extra kinetic.
Snap, step across, off leg or body, either one.
Okay.
That work?
Okay. Yes. About an hour ago.
Oh, his feet were everywhere.
Yeah. I concentrated on the shots. Try that again. So, step, roll, snap, block, snap.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
So,
Like she took a mouthful of it and she went,
Okay.
all right. So, how do you guys feel about the whole the X's deal?
I'm
Like-
liking it, and I'm gonna work with it.
Okay.
Because we have such a new fighter, if we could do teach the 1
The
through
6
6,
part. Yeah.
the 6 zone.
Okay. Let Jason do at least one round of
Yes.
chooses, and then we'll go ahead and jump into that.
I was gonna do that one. the other
Okay.
day.
Do it. Do it, and then choose it.
Okay.
Think about which foot you have to start with to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So this foot in, this foot here, wrap,
Uh-huh.
this one,
Snap.
snap back the other way.
Yeah, but exit this
You're-
side.
Oh, exit this
leg,
side.
Yeah.
Look, short legs.
The first two looked freaking amazing. Jesus.
What goes on in that combo, get your guard. When I'm throwing this shot, you start to block, and that double tap, when you build energy.
This is a good
And you see how your body's
exercise.
twisted?
Get into it.
That's the shot that's open up the top. But I'm coming
Yeah.
here, because you're gonna counter with the down strike. And that's the shot.
It's
That
over-exaggerated.
leg opens up, as soon as you start to throw the counter down, start to counter down.
And then when you're out there fighting,
And that's what I've seen.
never
That's the
snaps
shot.
perfectly.
I think she's running herself.
See, I like that. I like deep
'Cause I'm
thought.
just gonna knock
2
you
and 3 in. That's how you get people.
And then
You
whatever you
rely on
do,
one
never.
shot. And was thinking, okay.
Okay.
After my first shot, what do I do?
Now, if you're,
And after
that's
that,
acceptable.
what
If
do I
you're
do?
this,
It's interesting, because this is
you're rotating the entire body to get that leg out there.
That part's familiar.
great. Connects to a
That part's
square.
familiar. Honestly, even this is familiar,
like
it's
this
just
better.
the application of this.
And my first
Yeah.
night, this big
Yeah,
A
this
lot
is-
of, a lot of it's context.
here, we
This is
fought
very different from
eight
Fiore.
here
Yeah.
No,
and beat
From
the
what?
crap out of
Fiore?
no,
everybody
it's not.
Yeah.
No?
because
Well,
we were learning
it's
all
in a
kinds
different
of
context.
inverted
Yeah.
rollers
And that's what I was saying. Because for me,
so, I mean, from here,
Oh, were you coming in?
I was just gonna demo and he was.
Oh.
But if you want.
I didn't realize you were
if
talking to me. I thought you were only
want-
talking to him.
Oh, no,
Good
no,
job.
well,
Okay, listen.
I was gonna do a thing on
our
the.
thing
Go
was
for it. Go for it.
Well, because
Yeah.
if I had my Fiore,
here,
right,
that's where we went.
very often, I would assume I'm making an encroach here and not hitting a shield.
Very,
Mhm.
But
stand on-
very,
stand
very
on
often the
stand on his
response
belt.
would be to there.
And beat him.
Is Fiore a Japanese style of fighting? No.
Italian.
Italian.
I was gonna say that reminds me a lot of the
Fighting
fashion
the
sword
whole
stuff.
time.
That looked a lot like kendo to me.
Yeah, you're in a brace.
So Japanese style of.
Okay.
The funny thing
So-
happens when you look at manuals, it turns out
I'm sorry.
There's
no,
a lot
go
of
ahead, please,
similarities.
please.
Japanese people and Italian people have most of the same joints.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They lock up the same way. They lock up the same.
Okay,
There's a lot of
so-
similarities.
You wanted to learn the 6-part drill?
Sure, yes, I want to learn anything. Anything and
Okay.
everything.
When I do the 6-part drill, I generally practice it in this position as well as this position. And I add movement like weightlifting. But the very first thing you want to do is just kind of pick a side. And you're basically teaching yourself how to throw a blow from any sword position. So the hips always come first. So it's going to be like 1, 1, 1,
You realize you're hitting me in the knee.
2.
It is a little.
It's you're uphill.
That's my knee.
Yeah.
That's shins on Cyrus.
All right. So what you're doing is you're hitting 1. So I was on 1, 3, right?
Yeah.
So 1, 3, and then you're gonna go 1, 4, 1, 5, and you need see how I'm just kind of doing it really slow, and my hips are all kind of with my sword. And once you get all the way around, you've done 1, 6. Now you start on 2, and it'll be 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, and you'll kind of get like a flow going. And this is really good training when you just kind of flow like this.
And everything you do with your right arm, you do with your left arm.
And if you notice, as I'm firing, I'm returning them into blocks as well. So I'm kind of, my return is a block. So in
That's
that,
the part I don't do, and I need to.
you really should, because you even get like a part of a sword on it. In most cases, you take enough energy off. But what you're doing on the 1 through 6 is you're trying to get all the way through it to where you end on 6-6. Then you switch hands, do it with the left.
The
And you
good,
start with 6 and work your way backwards.
the good thing about that training is that when you go to fight somebody, you're planning, oh, I'm going to do a 1-4, right? I'm going to throw here, then here. But the moment you throw down here, you look up and you see that he's anticipating that. So you go, your body already knows the body mechanics to move from any shot to an any shot.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of a split-second decision. Your body goes, okay,
Yeah.
instead of,
And you'll train enough to the point where you don't think, it'll just be like you said.
Yeah.
You'll see what's happening and you immediately adjust, and your subconscious takes over because it recognizes. And since you've thrown all those blows from every position, it just does it for you. And that's what dedication and the repetition does for you.
And the whole 100-day challenge is the fact that the repetition of it
Yep.
is muscle memory. 10,000 movements
Yep.
equals muscle memory, which is what helps me is because I've been fighting 20 years.
Yeah, and I was training a new snap, so do I have my sword real quick? Just for giggles. So before, if I don't know if a lot of people remember when I was fighting before, I was very sword block. So that was my kind of my snap. It's kind of like a moulinet, mostly.